All right, so here we go. A home has been assessed by the county appraiser for $116,000. The property is homesteaded. The city, county, and school board each charge 10 mills for a total of 30 mills. Now stop there. Why do they need 30 mills there? And the reason they put that there is to throw you off, because now you got to think, I got to use the number 30 in this problem to calculate. And that's what they're banking on you doing. But all you need to know is that the county, school, the city, county, and school each have 10 mills. Okay. Forget the 30. 30 means nothing other than being there to try to lure you in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Then they're asking how much is saved by the homestead exemption. So you got to work this problem out twice. You got to work it out with exemptions, and you got to work it without exemptions. And then you got to subtract the difference to get your answer. Okay. So let's go with exemptions. Okay. With exemptions. So if you look at the first, if you look at my box, the way I unpack these, I put city and county, always put city and county together. Okay. They get a base of 25,000, and then they get another exemption of 25,000 if the assessed value is above 75,000. In this case, it's 116. So 25 and 25, the city, county get 50. Remember, 10 each is 10 plus 10. They get 20 mills for the city, county, and then the school only gets 10. There's your 30. Okay. But 30 has nothing to do with this problem. Now, if I take city, county, which is 116,000, my appraised value or my assessed value, minus 50, that's 25 plus 25. Okay. It gives me 66,000. Notice I don't have any blind. I don't have any widows. I don't have any disabled. So there's no additional exemption. So it's just a straightforward base 25, another 25 for above 75,000 assessed, add them together. I get 50. So 116,000 minus 50. So actually my homestead exempt assessed value is 66,000. And then I want to multiply it times my millage. Okay. My millage is converted by dividing that number by 1,000. That'll give you the decimal, or move it 3 places to the left and put a decimal. Okay. 1 mil by definition is 1/1000th of a dollar in the tax assessment world. Okay. So if I take 20 divided by 1,000, I get 0.02 times 66, $1,320. That's the tax on this property for the city, county. School, again, 116 minus only 25 base gives me 91. 10 mills, 0.01, 910. I add them together, $2,230 is the tax I'm paying after homestead exemption. After homestead exemption. Now I need to know what the taxes are if there is no homestead exemption, because they're asking me how much is saved by having homestead exemption. So I'm just going to do a straight calculation with no exemptions, which is 116,000 times 0.02. That's 20 mills, which gives me 2,320. And then I'm going to go for my school. 116,000 times 0.01 is 1,160. If I add those together, I get 3,480. That's before exemptions. After the exemption, and you can look at exemptions as what's called discounts, right? Everybody likes a discount, right? Everybody likes a discount. My wife tells me, I got it 60% off. I said, okay. So she bought, 100 of them. But anyway, discounts is all this is. This is all this is. They call it exemptions, but it's just discounting is all it's doing. So you're calculating one before exemption or discounting, with the discount or exemption, and one without. You don't get any discount, and you're just going to subtract the two. So the savings is $1,250. Okay. Listen, be careful with this, because guess what answer they're going to have? They're going to have 2230 as an answer. They're going to have 3480 as an answer. My whole point of it is you got to work 2 problems out and subtract them to get the correct answer. They're going to put these two answers in there along with the right one we just figured out, because they know if you read it too fast, listen, this is what we do. This is just the humanism in us. When we read, we don't comprehend a lot of times what we read, what they're asking, because you start out, okay, you got an appraisal problem. You don't even read the question. You start unpacking numbers. Okay, 116,000. Okay, let's see, city, county, 10 mills each. So that's 20 mills for city, county, 10 for the school board. Okay, and they're asking, okay, what's the tax on it? You don't even read what you're asking, and you figure out a tax based on the exemption, and you come up with 2230. And guess what they're going to have for an answer? 2230. This is part of the test question analysis. You got to slow down. You got to read these questions, and you got to ask yourself, how much is saved by homestead exemption? Okay, in order for me to see how much I'm saving, I got to figure out how much tax is when there is no homestead exemption. And when there is, the difference between those is how much I'm saving. And you can see how easy it is for you to read this quickly and just figure out a normal tax problem, and they're going to have that answer there for you. Okay, so I bring that light to you. Okay, be ready for those type of questions. All right, here we go. Let's go back to another calculation of a property tax. All right, same thing, nothing different. I'm going to read the question, and I'm going to ask, what are they looking for? Okay, a homesteaded property located in Florida, city tax rate 8.2, county 8.9. So I got 2 mills I got to add together. School tax 6.2, district the rate is 6.2. Homeowner is a widower. There's a key word I need to keep in because that's an exemption, and has qualified for homestead exemption. The home is assessed for $192,900. What are the property taxes due? Now here's a simple question. What are the taxes due on this property? Not how much I'm going to save. What are the property taxes due? So this is just a straightforward. And all I got to do is break it out. I see that my assessed value is above 75,000. So my city, county get 25 base plus another 25 for being above 75,000 assessed. So that's 50,000 total. Is one exemption, one discount. The other one is a widower, which is another 5,000. So if you come down to line 1, you can see 192,900 minus 50 minus 5. So I end up with a homestead exemption of 137,900. Now I got to get my mills, 8.2 and 8.9. I add those together, I get 17.1 divided by 1,000, or move it 3 places to the left. It times 0.0171, which gives me 2358.09. Okay. School tax, no difference, except I only got a base, but I still got to include another 5,000 for a widow. Okay. So 192.9 minus 25 minus 5 gives me 162.9. Here I only got 6.2 mills for the school, so that's going to be 0.0062. I'm moving it 3 places to the left, and I get 1,009.98. And I just add them together, city, county, and school tax, and my total tax for this property is $3,368.07. So we're looking at answer C. All right, let's do another tax problem. Again, get a system in place to where you go through the numbers and how to unpack this when you get your tax problems. Okay, so so here we got the numbers. 8.1 is the county tax rate, 8.9, or excuse me, city's 8.1, county 8.9, schools 5 mills. The homeowner is a blind widow. Stop. That's where you got to, those are key words that you need to look at and say, 2 exemptions that'll total 10,000, 5,000 each. So you want to make note of that. You go to your scratch paper, you write that down. Home is assessed for 199,000. What are the taxes owed? So again, I'm going to break my city, county together. I got 199,000 minus 50. I get 25 plus 25, 50,000 minus 10,000. Blind widow, 2, 5, and 5. So I get 139,000 times 17 mills. I'm I'm adding my mills together and moving it 3 places to the left. I get 2363. School tax. I only get one base exemption, 25,000 plus the 10,000 again for the blind widow for the school. So that's going to be 164,000. 5 mills times 0.005, $820 for taxes. And then I just add them together. Okay. So I'm talking about answer B, 3183. Okay. So if you just get a nice system, recognize, listen to me carefully, you need to recognize the additional exemptions, blind widow, disabled, etc. Okay. If you got more than one, combine the 2 5s together like we did here. It's a 10,000 total. Okay.
For more practice questions, videos, and insight into the state exam, we encourage you to join our free webinar, How to Pass the Real Estate Exam Without Your Real Estate Book and with only 15 to 20 hours of study time. Get registered now at myrealestatetutor.com/exam.